Well, here's a video about our new acquisition here. She's a beauty. She's been torn apart pretty good and hadn't been put back together all the way yet. But hopefully. We got these things growing up the side that are stuck like concrete. She's got a pretty good roof. A couple of new windows. The rest of the windows are kind of held in with sheetrock screws. Here's the garage. Had a leaky roof. So true to form, the guy did two sides of the roof. And that was it. And there's building materials laying everywhere. Nice yard out here for a garden. The lot next door is for sale. I'd like to buy it, but I'm not going to pay what he wants for it. The guy bought it at the auction for $300 or $400. That's ridiculous. Yeah, got a pretty good sized yard. She's got a lot of anomalies here. A lot of unfinished things. For whatever reason, when they bought the place, the city told them to board that one window up. They didn't want that window in there. That'll be the kitchen eventually. So got a beautiful garage with a brand new roof on two sides. So let's take a look at the inside of that garage, because it is full of tools, lumber, building supplies. Eventually we'll be going through all this crap and trying to figure out what to do with it all. It's just crazy. We got two brand new overhead doors on the garage. And there again, true to form, the one on the right here has tracks, but it doesn't work. And the one on the left is just up against the door. There's no tracks. So I would imagine everything is in the garage to do that with. Here is the gutters for the house. I like the cedar shake shingles. Now this right here is just a room off the kitchen, and it needed a roof a long time ago. There's actually a hole right through the roof, and the wall is bulging, and there's a lot of rot going on. I'm awful afraid that it'll have to be torn off, and in our city, if we even try to repair it within 24 hours, they'll have registered letters in the mail shutting us down. So sometimes the permits here cost more than the actual repairs. But yeah, it is what it is. That's why stuff is cheap here. City shuts everything down. I got left with a porch full of stuff, you know. All in all, kind of like the place. What they did with it at one time, they had quite a dream. So it's not a real big house. Yeah. So we got also a porch full of stuff. Now there was more stuff there a couple days ago, but true to form, people have been pulling it out of here. I don't really care much. And here's the inside. Got a nice brand new front door. Guy tore off all the walls, insulated almost everything. Sheetrocked almost everything 20 years ago, it seems. But he, there again, one coat of joint compound, and that was it. Now I do like some of the features here. Like these pillars. They're pretty nice, and that feature out there in the dining room ceiling. Of course, this stuff here is some stuff that the original owner left behind, and you can see the light. Oh wow, look at that. Now those lights in the recess up there, and I know they look like they're flickering, but they're not. Those lights are colored, but they lost the remote control to it. Now here's another thing here that's unfinished, like everything else. All brand new wiring, unfinished. All brand new plumbing, unfinished. We're going to see what we can do to fix that. This would be the kitchen at some point. The lady lived 20 years without a stove. There's the old stove. I guess it doesn't work very good. Never been hooked up. There's, looks like it's about 11 by 11, this kitchen is. There's a piece of plywood that covers up the doorway going out to that place where the roof leaked real bad. This has a brand new roof on it. Everything here looks pretty good. Floors are sturdy, fairly flat and level. Right now I got plastic across there. I don't see a reason to heat it. But there's a 6-foot kitchen here in the end of the dining room. And the ladies lived like that for 20 some years. And amazing, really. So I used to heat with all kinds of things. There used to be a gas heater there hooked to this piece of copper that comes through the floor, which isn't up to code. I bought a space heater here, 30,000 BTU natural gas, that I'll probably just plug that in for the most part. I have a thermostat. I put a furnace downstairs temporarily because the old furnace was pumping out carbon monoxide. And I'll put a secondary thermostat in the basement set at 40 with, that'll kick the furnace on if the basement gets too cold. Yeah, the door is kind of cool. It fits good. A little bit of light around the top there, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Now here is the, going up the stairs here. What's really cool is out through here, the guy lowered these ceilings. I think they were 9-foot ceilings, and he lowered them to 8 feet, which was kind of cool. So let me see if I can get some flash going on here. There we go. So you can see out through there is some of the old wire and everything, the guy ran PEX for hot water heat upstairs. There's the old floor joist and the old wiring, and the old wiring is dead. Most of it. There's a couple of pieces out in the back room that are still being used that are hooked up. So, about that. We got materials everywhere. Now, I ran some water up here and let it out, and I heard a water noise, and I thought, what the heck is that? And I come over here, and there's a vent pipe for the sewer system that dead ends in the attic, and it was wide open up there. And temporarily I'm just going to put a cap on it so we don't get sewer smells. There's a hole in the floor over here, but it's all brand new floor back here in the quote unquote bedroom area, which is kind of nice. It used to be a 2-bedroom. Used to be a 2-bedroom, 1.5 baths according to the county records. But there's only 1 bathroom. I'll show you here in a minute. Kind of an anomaly. You see the windows here held in by screws, and got a hole in the storm window. Ironically enough, no storm window on that one, held in by screws. We're going to need some windows probably sooner than later. And there again, there's a plastic one with holes in it. And there again, the city, if you put one window in, you have to get a permit. It can probably cost about as much as a window, probably. I don't know. And then they have to inspect it and everything. Now here is a jacuzzi tub. If anybody wants that, it's up for grabs. That's coming out of there. It's should have had a platform over along the back there, and to be tiled in and whatnot. But I'm really not interested in it. They put in a stand-up shower, which is very nice. But I believe that'll be coming out too. I think I'm going to go with a tub and shower along that wall, and a toilet back here, and possibly a sink over here someplace, and continue this out as part of the bedroom. Now, another anomaly here, well, there's switches everywhere and wires everywhere. They got to be sorted out. And luckily, wherever, I'm pretty sure he was up in the air about where to run the wires or whatnot, there's the sheetrock's just screwed in. Could be taken off. Moved wires, moved around. You can't hide junction boxes. But this toilet here, if you'll notice, is behind what appears to be about a 3-foot wall. And the bedroom's right the other side. And when I asked about it, the girl's daughter says, well, it was just him and her, and they've been together for years, and he liked the way the sun shined through the bedroom into the bathroom. So, and that's that. I guess he really loved the jacuzzi tub with the old Milwaukee light. And there's a window that's going to need to be filled in and redone. I don't mind having a window. I like having a window in the bathroom, but not a great big one like that, especially behind the toilet. But, yeah, it's not a bad place. These switches are in odd places. That needs to be fixed. Now, when I first looked at the place, I wondered why there was this weird closet thing. It's kind of deep up here at the head of the stairs, and it's a pretty good sized area up here. And according to the lady that owned the place, that was for the stackable washer and dryer that they never got. And I'm wondering, well, I asked her, I said, why? What do you do for laundry? I said, yeah, I don't see a washer. She says, oh, I go to the laundromat. So for 20 years, she informs me that there's a practically brand new washer out in the garage that, of course, you see the wire here has never been connected between all these. None of the outlets in the bedroom works. Just one outlet under the hot tub, as far as under the jacuzzi tub. As far as I can tell, is the only outlet in the building that works. So this has to be sorted out. There's the 3-conductor for the 3-way switch, which if you put it in the wrong position down here, it doesn't work the way it should. Yeah, and it looks like they tore out some wall here. I don't know if you noticed, when we look back out here, there was an LVL. It goes the full length of the building. So it, and the floor joists are all cantilevered off from it. See that big beam right there? That's an LVL. And yeah, it goes all the way, one end to the other. He's got several LVLs in here. I was amazed at. Big task. Lowered all these ceilings and braced them up, and this is a pretty amazing place, really. But she needs some TLC. So a thermostat used to be down here at the foot of the stairs, where that hole is, and I moved it over here because the cool air coming down the stairs was making the furnace trip on and off frequently, and there's a register right there. Oh, there's an 80,000 BTU furnace with 3 or 4 registers hooked up to it. an 80,000 BTU furnace would be happy if you had 10 of them, but that isn't the case. Oh, the lady hates this light, and it's been in there forever, she says. And it's like must be a fluorescent light. It takes about a half an hour to warm up. So here's the basement. There's the steps that go upstairs. And here's the old wiring I was telling you about. It's into the switch for the basement light. Don't know what the cardboard is for. But yeah, there's some trinkets and tools and supplies everywhere. I have to be careful because there's a step missing down here. Right there. It about killed me the other day, and somehow I managed to hurt my toe on it, but there's supplies everywhere. There's 3 or 4 different kinds of heating apparatus back in here. Here's the old furnace that was in here. There's just stuff everywhere. And from what and the lady that owned the place told me that the upstairs was just a path from the front door to the kitchen sink was about all there was. So here's a hula hoop or two if anybody wants one. I got some wire. I just stuck the new furnace in there so the lady would have some heat while she was still here, but that's way not up to spec. We got to get some registers. Oh, here's the electric, which is kind of hilarious. They have an electric water heater over here, hooked to 12 tube, and it only draws 17 amps. But then instead of putting it on a 20 amp double breaker, they kind of just picked 2 breakers that were on the separate ends of the circuit and hooked it up. Yeah. Kind of crazy, you know. I believe this is it right here, but I'm not sure. So, stuff every place. There's a roll of wire down there. Here's another old furnace and another old furnace, and here's the wiring coming down. And what it does is, evidently he didn't know where he was going to terminate it all, so he coiled it up on the floor. Eventually gets back over there. Here's that gas line from upstairs right there. And when I connect that heater, I'm going to do some flex pipe. Man, look at this place. Stuff everywhere. Covers off from old furnaces, and I guess over the years he tried about 50 different ways to heat water, and now there is a chimney on this place right there. That hole right there goes to a chimney that has had animals or something coming in and out of it. But that green stuff on the outside, that English ivy or whatever it's called, has grown all the way up the house, and looks like it's completely on top of the chimney according to what I see from my drone. There's an old heat exchanger. Looks like it's seen better days. It ain't a little hot. There was a wood stove. When I first looked at the place, there was a guy out back hauling stuff out of the garage, and he was working quite frantically. And I went in and I looked at the house, and I told the lady I'd take it, and I'm looking over her shoulder, and a white truck pulls up out there. And they load a bunch of stuff in the truck, and it's not my business. And until she moved out, actually, it was her stuff, even though she said I own it all. There is a on-demand fired, I believe it's a Blunt hot water heater that did not take any electricity, atmospheric vent. It ran the whole thing off a 700 millivolt pilot light. And I actually have one of those, and it works real good. And there's a box back there for a Bosch on-demand fired water heater and all kinds of stuff. Here's their new water heater. There used to be gas, and now it's electric. And I'm not real fond of electric water heater. Our electric here is about as expensive as it is in the whole nation, because they closed down our coal plants. And I don't know where they're getting it from, but there's wires hanging everywhere. It's going to be a lot of work. A lot of work. Old heating plenum down there. So, oh yeah, got a nice basement door. It doesn't close right, but we got it. Yeah, needs a little tuning up there. Like I said, this stuff here is covering up, there's a fourth register underneath there, but the lady that lived here wondered if she could keep some stuff here, and I said, yeah, just set it in the corner of the dining room. You can get it when you come back up. Well, yeah, this is what we got. So I got to get up in there because I ordered new lights for that. The old lights worked off a small remote control. The lights around the edges there, the LEDs. It was worked off a small remote control that she lost quite some time ago. And the new ones work off the Wi-Fi, telephone, Alexa. If you buy one, a remote control button. So this thing down here is an ozone generator. I'm going to run that tonight for maybe half an hour, close the place up, and air it out when I come back. Not that it really stinks, but we have an open sewer line upstairs, and yeah, it is what it is. I still like these pillars though, they're pretty cool. You know, one coat of sheetrock, joint compound here and there, and you know, I'd almost be inclined, except for it's right out on the side, to put a sliding glass door there with a deck out there. And there again, city gets all involved, and you got to watch out for them. But what I'd really like to do is put a sliding glass door out there with a private deck, put a hot tub out there. And ironically enough, someone just gave me a really nice, almost brand new, 2-person hot tub. So that'll be a nice addition. Yep. There's my new lights. We got the Govee strip light. I believe it's 35 feet long. This one is. There's the numbers. 32.8 feet. I believe it'll be more than enough, and you can cut it as long as you cut it in the right spot. And here is since I don't really have a kitchen, this is a kind of a thing on wheels with a flip-up leaf, and you just got some storage in it. I'll show it to you when it's done. The lady left some things behind. I'm not sure what's hers and what's not. Kind of a odd situation. When I first bought the place, she wondered how soon she'd have to be out, and I said, well, you can stay here, you know, you're paying the utilities, you can stay here for a while. And I was thinking a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, you know. Month is fine. And she's moving to Florida, and I figured I'd see a U-Haul truck pull up out there. And I figured I'd see a U-Haul truck pull up out there, and this stuff would get loaded in and vanish. But as it turned out, her and her daughter decided to move to Florida 1 carload at a time. So they would load up the car and drive to Florida and stay there for a week or two, and then come up here and stay here for a week or two. And then, yeah, so that's the way it was going. But, yeah, it is what it is. So now she's moved her last trip down. And the place is supposedly mine, but there's a lot of stuff here yet. And I would like to figure out what's what and get it over with. So I should take the cover off that door there and show you what's there. You can see up through the roof. And it's just piled almost to the ceiling. There's a brand new dishwasher in there that never got installed. It's crazy, isn't it? But that's the way it is. Yeah, I'd like to buy this lot over here, but the guy wants $5,000 for it. So the city came in. I think it sells for taxes about every few years. Every 3 or 4 years, nobody pays the taxes, and it goes back. And then whoever buys it asks $5,000, and then it goes back to the city again. 3 or 4 years later, there's berry bushes everywhere. Here's a bunch of them. That patch over there, right there, that's a patch of berry bushes. And she says they produce quite well. Here's the back of the garage. There is enough new siding, she says, to do the whole garage. So it looks like I got some cleanup to do here. I got a friend that's got a dump trailer, and I'm going to see if he can park it down here. Trouble is getting rid of stuff here. We have a milling station, and we have a landfill, and the milling station doesn't take some of this stuff, and the landfill doesn't take some of this stuff. So when you go to unload, you have to be sorted pretty well, know what you're doing, and then the milling station will say you got to take that to the landfill, and then you take what they got to go to the landfill, and they go, no, you can't bring that up here. That goes, this part here goes to the milling station. And yeah, you know, I've heard of people hauling. There's a place in Irwin that'll take anything, and you just drive up there and you back up to a pit, and they shovel it off in there. It's a big compactor. They haul it away. There's enough wood there to do the whole garage, but it's gotten wet for so long and it's all swelled up. I'm pretty sure that there was enough shingles laying out here to do the whole garage, and I think that the lady that owned the place moved them inside for me. Now if you look at this concrete slab here, it's going to have to be jackhammered out, because it's it looks like they put forms right on top of the ground, and now it meets the garage anywhere from 4 to 6 inches too high, and it also leans to the middle. So it must have been quite the project for them. It's too bad they didn't dig it down some. We'll jackhammer that out. I don't think we got a machine big enough to pick those slabs up and move them. If we could move them out to the street, we'd dig it down, just drag them out to the street. And I might know a guy that's got a machine that big, but there must be 2 kinds of berries here. There's one fenced in area here and another fenced in area here. And I would imagine the birds just love it in the spring when the berries come. So, well, that's about it. It's as good as it gets. It's got asbestos siding on it, by the way, that yellow stuff. And the city, you can, from what I've heard, you can tear it off if you bury it on site, but you can't haul it away. Or you can just side over the top of it and bang nails into it and splinter it and send the asbestos fibers all over the place and just leave it on underneath there. A lot of people do that. Actually, it's encapsulated in those tiles unless you bust them up there. Yeah, it's not coming out of there, but And the asbestos is a bunch of bullshit anyway. You know, they still use it in various products, and people worked in it for years. So see if there was a sliding door right there and a deck out here. Be pretty nice. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point though, because of the city has a lot of requirements. For instance, if you're working on your roof and you have a brother or a family member or a friend helping you, they'll shut you down, put a stop work order sign on it. It happened to a friend of mine right up against the rainstorm. Rain ruined some of his house because he wasn't allowed on the roof, and he had to get special insurance for his family member as if he was an employee before he could work on the roof. So it took quite a while to get the roof done. I think they did some of it on the weekends to try to get by that. Our city isn't very friendly. They shut down businesses, and you know, they shut down almost anything that moves. I see it happen quite frequently. But okay, I'm done. Thank you. Bye.